references tonight.
What up, people? Welcome to the Blackwell Project. Happy Sunday. Tonight, we got a big one, y'all. We got a big one. Verzuz. What impact has Verzuz had on Black Law or the Verzuz effect on Black Law?
You couldn't even help yourself, Jim. You couldn't help yourself.
Good evening to everybody that joined us. We're getting ready to go live. We're already going live, right? Corey's already let everybody know that he'll be talking in Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One turns because, as Jimmy said, today is a holiday. Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Golden Era's finest, hip hop's finest, are squaring off tonight on Verzuz. So we felt what better thing to do than talk about the Verzuz effect on Black wealth. As we've seen a lot from Timbo and Swiss getting together, doing their kind of DJ producer battles, and then flipping into this whole musical platform. And by embracing the culture and monetizing the culture, they made a whole thing for themselves. They got a whole bag. But before we go any further, I just want to say what's up to the team. How y'all doing?
What it is, though.
So y'all excited? I know Jimmy's excited. I know Corey's excited. Courtney, you excited?
I'm not watching it.
So you ain't have to say that though. You could have just said,
no, I'm not excited.
You ain't have to say that.
Yeah, you took it, and then she took it personally.
I mean, like, what do you guys want me to say? You want me to lie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That a lie would have been perfectly acceptable right there.
Listen, I think very deeply. Absolutely.
The philosopher, the teacher's going to be on tonight. All right, so quick question for everybody that's in the audience. Who do y'all got on tonight's battle? Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One. That's tonight's question. Who do y'all got winning it for all of the marbles? KRS-One got the hits. KRS-One has stage presence, but Big Daddy Kane comes out of that James Brown era stage performance. So it's going to be entertaining either way.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over.
The culture, the culture wins.
The culture does win. The culture absolutely wins. All right, so let's just say what's up to the people real quick before we jump into.
Yeah, man. Listen.
The goings on. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was just saying that the culture wins. That's all, man. I was saying that's the cop out right there. That's the cop out. But I will say this though, man. I mean, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. I will say that.
Okay. What up, Jose?
Yeah.
What's up?
Alicia's in the building. How are you?
Courtney was like, "What is going on here? What is he talking about?" KRS-One. That is what KRS-One stands for.
Listen, Jose.
Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That is what KRS-One.
Malik, he got getting his bread. He in the streets. Listen, man. I mean, King Asiatic and nobody's equal, but it's
Courtney's like, huh? Why are you making that face, Courtney?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
All right,
they get me. We speak. We you know what I mean? We speaking in our native tongue. Don't even ask how. But listen, here's what I will say, man. I'm very excited for this evening. You know, this will be one of the better verses for those that don't know. That's why you should watch it to get educated.
Yeah, don't be like Courtney. This is one time I can say that. Because normally I would say try to be more like Courtney, because Courtney likes to follow the law, work within the rules, and get you paid within those rules. But generally, I would say be like Courtney. Tonight, don't be like Courtney. Don't not watch the thingy.
It's okay.
Jose's got KRS-One. Lucia's got KRS-One. Exactly. Went for the culture. All right, we went neutral there to Alicia. What up, Monica? How you doing? Well, listen, in traditional Big Daddy Kane fashion, we young, black and proud. So we want to get it popped off. Ooh. I wanted to talk about an article real quick that talked about Verzuz and how Verzuz earlier on this year was brought by Triller. I know a lot of people don't know that, but they were. So what Timberland, what Swizz created was brought by Triller. And Triller is not a black-owned company. But they did get some equity shares in Triller. And so here is a Los Angeles Times article illustrating all of it. But there's something on here that I find really, really interesting, right? They won't disclose the number. I get that. That happens often. But there's something they did with this that I think is very, very awesome. Not only did they sell a Triller, but many other artists that promote and support the platform also got an equity share in it. So I'm just looking for the statement here that highlights that.
They gave 43 other artists a piece of the thing.
Right. And so this company is owned by a bigger white-owned company that actually is major. Everything from the Matrix to a lot of the stuff they've done co-ventures with. Verzuz has more than 5 billion impressions and plans to expand into areas comedy, according to the statement. And I saw that they raised 100 million at the time of this, but they're looking to raise 250 million. So again, there's a lot of bread here, but again, I was very, where's that? I can't find it. I was very, very impressed that Swizz and Timberland took route of sharing instead of hoarding it to themselves. So Triller did not disclose the terms of the acquisition. Timberland and Swizz Beatz gave a portion of their equity stake to 43 performers who had participated in Verzuz, including John Legend, Alicia Keys, and DMX.
Man,
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I think that's pretty dope of Timberland and of Swizz. They said they're going to get the bag, but they're also going to give back to those who.
I mean, those artists is what helped build it. Why wouldn't they give it back? I mean, I know why. I know why would I know that. I was about to
say.
I'm just saying, if you're community minded, why wouldn't you?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I like the fact that they were community minded in doing that, and they watched Jay-Z do it when he got the bag with Tidal, because that's what he did with Tidal.
Yep, absolutely.
Somewhat, but you know, I mean, Swizz and Timberland are down with us, but I just say that is amazing that they did that, right? Because a lot of folks wouldn't do that.
I'm feeling the pushback.
No. I'm not going to push. But listen, man, I don't even like to bring up Jay-Z's name because Kamari's going to defend Jay-Z no matter what he does. Jay-Z can come on here and smack Kamari, and Kamari will say, "I deserved it." So I'm not even going to get into that with you. But what I will say is this:
that's slander, right?
Go
ahead.
Hey,
Kamari,
listen,
what's
man,
behind your back, though?
What do you mean?
Move your chair. Let's see your bookshelf.
You got a Jay-Z shrine or Kamari is still waiting for his rock chaining day. But listen, though, all I'm saying is this: I think it's amazing, Corey. But to your point, that's what you're supposed to do. But how many people have we seen to actually do this, right? Because a lot of people have gotten equity in companies that they've done business with over the last years. Like it's kind of become a thing. And I don't know. I don't want to say the first I remember it being a big deal is when 50 did it, with the vitamin water deal. But you know, it's been a thing, but we haven't seen too often where people bring others in. Not that it's public knowledge. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because it could happen. We just don't know about it. But this was unique in how they did that. And to Corey's point, they have. No. I'm not saying that he gave shares. I'm talking about getting. I'm not saying that 50 gave shares. I'm saying 50 getting equity.
Oh, gotcha. I got you. I think we got a little bit of a delay, y'all. But I got you, Jim. Yes, that's definitely become a big thing. Leveraging your brand value to get equity value in these companies is definitely a thing these days. And I feel you. I get what you're saying. It's coming kind of cliche.
No, let it become cliche. Then pay me in equity. You know, Beyonce said it in her when she said it. Pay me in equity, and that's get your, you know what I mean, get your ownership stake. You know what I mean? If these companies are gonna become $1 billion companies, you know, Dre did it with the Beats deal. You know, Jay-Z did it with the Tidal deal when they sold to Live Nation. You know, when you know, whatever artists, you know, Beyonce did it with the Uber deal. A lot of artists have done it. Chameleonaire did it. A couple, you know, a lot of artists get paid in equity. So when you getting paid in equity, that means that's forever money. You know what I mean? Like it ain't that one time, you know, get paid for the show and got to put it up yourself money. That's that getting paid in equity money, and that's how you go from millionaire to billionaire. Kanye, you know what I mean, multiple times on multiple deals. So
Ever.
I'm with
I'm
that.
gonna push back a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think one of my concerns is that I think being paid in equity sounds really good. It's very sexy. But if you don't have the baseline of wealth, it makes getting paid in equity very difficult.
Yeah,
I think we talked about that. It was a guy with Nike. Like he had an option. It was like in the 80s. He had an option of getting XYZ payment or getting equity. And he chose the payment because that's what he needed at that time. And it sucks because when you're kind of, and not saying that everybody's starting at zero, but when you don't have that luxury or that kind of base, you need that money now. And that equity money, to your point, is long money and pays you over time, and it actually ends up paying it pays more over time, but you have to get to the place where you're able to take more money over time because you don't have an immediate need.
I agree, Courtney, but most of the people that are leveraging their brands to get equity stakes are pretty liquid, or at least have pretty decent cash.
Right, but they're telling it to the masses that don't have that ability. So I should get paid in equity. It's like, do you have money today, though?
Yeah, like, is your business going to survive? If you get paid in equity, how is your business going to survive?
Absolutely.
Well, not only that, do you have the brand value to even negotiate that? And most people don't.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people negotiate something similar, like the dude who did the voiceovers for Disney for the Lion King. They was going to pay him $1 million one time, or pay him over and over again in equity. He's still getting paid from that.
That's what Jason
Weaver.
Yeah,
that was his. But Jason Weaver also got money from other things. He already had baseline, and he was a child. So he was a child, so he didn't need that money immediately. He also was getting paid from so many different other places. He could afford to say, his mom could make the strategic business decision saying, no, y'all going to get paid off this thing for a long, long time. And I want to make sure that my son, who contributed to the product and the project, is able to get paid forever. And I think those are things that I think are really important. But interesting enough, Jason Weaver was on this last season of The Chi.
Yes.
And so he's been in the game for a really long time. So yeah, he doesn't so to a certain extent, he may not have to work ever again because of the work that he put in early. But I think that's across the board. And I think that's something that we can learn, is that sometimes, when you work hard early on, you are able to kind of like that work compounds if you do it right.
Compound interest is everywhere in everything.
Absolutely.
But let's just take a quick time out real quick. So since Jimmy wanted to throw shade real quick, and Jose caught it in the chat, he said that, I figured this would be a good time to bring this up, right? Jay-Z co-founded Marcy Ventures Projects, invest in tech incubator Idris Sandu's Spatial Labs.
Mm-hmm.
$24 million invested into the people and into the culture. But Jimmy says, I got a love affair for Jay-Z.
Yo, let's jump back in.
You do. I mean, that
Jimmy left.
Yeah, if you're going to talk about him, at least put him back.
I didn't know he left. He must have ran and got scared. But Jimmy,
no. I was having tech issues.
Oh, my bad.
But
that doesn't mean I was wrong. Time to talk about Jay, since you slandered him earlier. Jose.
No, I wasn't slandering Jay. I was talking about your love affair with him, and that doesn't change your love affair with him because he did something great.
It actually bolsters your love affair because you know the details of the deal. Like, I saw it in passing. I didn't really pay no attention to it. But
listen,
here you are.
I look at all things Black Wealth. But here you are putting up a whole complex article about it. That's
so you're a Jay-Z stan. It's okay.
I'm cool with it. So
listen. All I'm saying is,
real quick, Slabs has previously collaborated with Beyonce's Ivy Park. Nipsey Hussle's The Wealth. The marathon continues. Rihanna's Fenty line and Kanye's Yeezys. So Jay is now investing with them through Marcy Ventures. So it's all good, y'all. Y'all can hate on me, hating on me.
No one's hating on you, beloved. Listen, man, you down with us. All I'm saying is this, right? You have a love affair with the gentleman. He can't do no wrong in your eyes. Like, I think that nobody is listen. I think that everybody does things that are sometimes questionable, right? There's no one I agree with 1,000%, but you will defend that man unlike others.
You never see me defend anybody. All I have said is that nobody has really brought real receipts. That's it.
Receipts about what?
What, Kamari?
about him backstabbing the culture. Jimmy feels he's a backstabber.
Oh man.
So
everybody has
Man,
a
listen.
story when you get to be a billionaire. There's always somebody that you crossed
But
along the way.
That's a great point. I don't know any billionaire that doesn't have a backstabber story. I don't consider him a backstabber. I was making a joke because that's what Dame said. Dame said he got a only one man can eat disease. I thought it was funny. So
I didn't see that one. I missed that one. And for the record, I'm a Dame fan. I'm definitely a Dame fan.
Yeah, I was just repeating what Dame said. I thought it was funny.
Facts. Well, Dame's a funny guy, so, and he likes to be funny. But going back to the whole title thing and what you brought up, Jimmy, earlier, is that it seems like we build something up only to let white corporations to come along and take it from us, as it relates to this Verzuz thing. So give us your thoughts on that.
Well, I think it's a bigger conversation, not even just that. I was thinking about like black content creators and white platforms, right? A couple of weeks last week and the week before when Facebook and IG went down for a day, and I was watching like people flock to like Twitter, who's not even really on Twitter, but the black content creators literally going crazy because they couldn't talk to their people or access their people. And I was thinking like, it's crazy how people build up literally $1 million brands, but they're all on white platforms. I was sharing with you guys earlier, you know, I've been catching up on my Ratchet TV because I'm not gonna lie, I watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta or Real Housewives. Anything in Atlanta I find interesting and funny, but that's for another story. But I was like, yo, IG might as well be a star of this show. All they talk about is look what he posted on Instagram or such and such posted this on Instagram, and I'm sitting there thinking like, it's amazing how much power these platforms have, and a lot of times it's built up by our culture. Our culture runs everything, yet we don't own anything. So when you talked about Verzuz and Triller and the whole nine, that's the first thing I thought of, like black content. Now the good thing is they got equity upon that sale. But in general, how many of us have equity in Clubhouse? How many of us have equity in Facebook? How many of us has equity in Twitter or any of these platforms that we create cool? And there's value in that.
I mean, Jimmy, I would ask the question though. I agree with you 1,000%. But I would ask the question: you bring up Clubhouse, you bring up Twitter, you bring up IG. The difference between the Verzuz deal is that we had two brothers at the table. We had us at the table. Those other ones, they just kind of come in and sneak us. Now,
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I said that's what the difference is between the Verzuz deal. Yeah.
So the other thing I've been meaning to ask: are we all on fan base? Because I think that's something we got to start looking at too. The brother Isaac
absolutely.
Created that platform, raised about $3 million, I believe, and that's something we need to get behind it. At least look at and see if it's viable. I haven't looked at it. I created an account on it, but I got to go deeper on it.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling people: just create an account, even if you're not going to be active right now. So just go create your account, grab your name, right. You know what I mean, and do what you got to do. But I just think that's an interesting like what happened with TikTok like a couple months ago when all the creatives on TikTok got upset because they were being pushed to the bottom of the search when they were doing all the creating.
Right.
Not only that, a lot of people steal their stuff. A lot of
and they was getting all the credit for it.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then they showed the joint like how dry it get when they stop.
Mm-hmm.
Everything dried up.
We create the goal. That is true.
I think honestly, I think we should take our ball and go home a lot more. Because I think once we're able to do that, we take our ball and go home, then we're able to negotiate the terms of when we come back. Just kind of, shutting down for a couple of weeks and then coming back like, hey, we're back. It doesn't really change the dynamic. TikTok still hasn't changed their algorithm because they ultimately favor white content creators over black ones. So a white content creator will find black creators and just steal their stuff. And then funny enough, it's not even that they steal it. Like they get to a point where they try to do it and then they'll modify it because whatever move it was too hard for them. Because if you notice, I think might have been a stallion dance. One of the dances that was picked up early in the pandemic, a white young lady got credit for it, but it was done by a black creator, but she actually changed a little bit because whatever the black creator, the young lady did was entirely too difficult for her. So she had to change it just a little bit because she had to modify it because she couldn't do the work. And I just think it's kind of like somebody making the potato salad. Like you ain't put your soul in it.
Or they put too many raisins in it.
Listen, I think there's a time and place for raisins, but it's not.
Potato salad ain't the place for it.
No, I mean, I'm okay.
I forgot. My bad.
You okay with that?
Listen, all right, here's the thing.
We talked about this on another show, Corey.
I'm pretty sure we did. I'm okay with raisins in potato salad, but it can't be like my grandmother's potato salad. Like it has to be like a mustard base, and it's completely different. It's a completely different vibe.
Oh man, Courtney, let me find out, man.
You already found out.
No.
I'm okay with it, but it's not the same. It's like it's potato salad with mustard, dill. It's a completely different vibe.
This is why you got to get your cookouts catered. That statement is why you have to get your cookouts catered.
No. That potato salad. Wait, time out. That potato salad doesn't find its way to the cookout. Like I can be at an event and be cool with it. Like, oh, this is good. I'm not.
Oh hell no! Did you just say, "Oh, this is good"?
Yes.
Oh man, yo, I'm out, man. I can't do this. I'm out. I can't do this in good conscience.
Listen, man, Kizzy and Chicken George didn't get their life for this. They did not get their life for this.
But see, here's
I don't want to talk bad about you, Courtney, but you putting yourself in a bad position.
I'm not even dealing with this with y'all. I'm not making.
Let's take a quick pause. Let's just say what's up to the folks.
What's up, y'all?
Pause on the potato salad real quick. What's up, GC?
God, yo.
What up, Willard? Willard got carrots one for the win. The White, what up, brother?
Hey, the White.
The White says he likes how Swiss and Tim shared the wealth. Yeah. Yes. Hey, Angela.
Mm-hmm.
Julio, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. There's no Jay-Z.
It's not an infatuation. Like, I don't know who GC is. I haven't seen him around or her around.
GC's been on several shows. He's a regular.
I don't know.
Yeah. Trust me, he's a regular.
I agree, GC. It's not healthy, dog.
Now, listen, I think Jimmy will agree with me on this. I've said it a lot. Matter of fact, the White says it a lot. I think celebrity culture is toxic overall. So,
absolutely,
I don't believe in worshiping anybody.
Yeah, celebrity culture is a bad business.
Yeah. Latoya's in the building.
What it is, though.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So GC, we talked about that like a week or two ago. Yep.
And she's talking about Jay-Z.
Don't block her, Kamari. Do not block.
No, listen, I got love for
you can't block her for that.
I take all y'all.
If Courtney can eat raisins and potato salad, we can't block her for that cow.
What on earth? Like,
all right, so GC says ownership is important and not just the 1/15th of the 1% hype of the publicity equity deal that Jay-Z had with the Nets.
I agree. There's a lot of, I guess, performative equity that I've seen recently, and I find it to be very offensive because, again, when you're looking at equity, it matters how much you have. Even when we're looking at companies that are publicly traded, people are like, "Oh, I got my proxy vote." Like your proxy vote probably doesn't mean that much because when you look at those who actually have the most, they may have, B shares, C shares that actually give more weight to their vote. Or they just may have the majority of the shares to actually sway the vote. So again, it really matters how much you have because how much equity you have relates to how much control you have or which influence you have. And that's a big deal because I don't want us just to be at the table. I want us to have an influential seat at the table.
I
can agree with that.
What up, Adrian? How are you?
Adrian.
Hey, Adrian. Yeah.
It was a Meg dance.
Yeah, I think it was
shut it down over Meg. Yeah. No raisins. I'm staying out of this.
No, I'm not okay with greats, Dwight. I really have a place for all of y'all. And the thing is, okay, so here's the thing. I lived in West Virginia for 5 years. So a lot of the things that I've been exposed to are
God.
They're not problematic. It wasn't like I wasn't going there expecting my grandmother's potato salad or my aunt's potato salad. It was like, oh, this is interesting. It has dill in it. Man, it has mustard.
I live in West Virginia for 550 years. I will never eat raisins and potato salad.
I mean, you don't really know they're in there until you get to. You're like,
whoa, what you mean? Oh God, Courtney, what you?
What do you mean?
All right,
Oh,
so
how
hold on,
you
y'all.
not good?
Hold on, y'all. This is a question I think we should address.
Okay.
All right, Mikhail, forgive me if I'm getting your name wrong.
Mhm.
What exactly defines black wealth? I asked because individuals making money, I think does not define black wealth, and predominantly black communities are not benefiting from it, be it taxes, employment, or its institutions that benefit predominantly the black community. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, black wealth. I mean, are
We
those
got a
people
whole
black?
body of work on that.
Yeah, like I mean, if those people are black, then that's black wealth, right? Like now, whether
Yeah,
they
but
use that, do they use that black wealth in the furtherment of other black people? That's a separate question than is it black wealth? If those people are black and they are creating, if they're producers and investors and entrepreneurs in our communities, that's still black wealth. Whether or not they bring that black wealth back to the community is something totally different than whether or not that wealth is being generated. So it's two separate issues.
Gotcha. Jimmy, you had something for this?
Yeah, so I was just saying that when we talk about black wealth on this show, we define black wealth a lot of different ways, right? So black wealth isn't just about money or individuals making money, and we understand that. But I think that this is part of the overall conversation. Black wealth is black love. Black wealth is black health. All these things are black wealth. But this, what we're talking about this evening, is part of the conversation as it pertains to equity and the content and the cool that we create and not having ownership of that. A lot of times people criticize us. They talk about, they try to pigeonhole us into sports and entertainment, right? The problem isn't that we're pigeonholed into sports and entertainment. The problem is we don't own that either. If we dominate those two industries and we completely own those industries, everything will look completely different. But we don't even dominate the industries. And so there's an excellent book, Black Labor, White Wealth, right? Written by my mentor, Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote Powernomics. And he kind of goes into that, right? We have this labor, but we don't have the wealth part because we are never getting ownership, even in aspects of life that we tend to dominate. That's why this conversation is important.
Facts. All right. Mikhail, I hope that answered your question. For me, I mean, I agree with everything everybody just said, right? For me, I do have my own kind of personal bias, that conscious layer on there. I do think those who are making money and doing good for the community is the true definition of black wealth, right? But you have the textbook version and then you have the applied version. And there's going to be many different flavors in the middle, in my opinion.
The one thing I can say for certain is raisins in a potato salad is not black wealth.
No one said it was black, y'all. Like, that's the thing. I didn't say raisins and potato salad and soul food. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all.
You said you ate it and you enjoyed it.
And it wasn't bad. I don't feel bad about that.
Oh God!
Like, I'm okay with it. Like,
and I'm glad you're okay with
okay
it.
with it.
I'm glad you're okay with it.
All right, Adrian chimed in. Delta Lucy, she says, "Oh, Courtney banned from the cookout." Listen, now we're not banning my sister. We're not banning my sister.
No, she can't bring potato salad.
But I'm not like you didn't even ask me if I made my potato salad with raisins. That's what I'm trying to make the differentiation.
Nah, man. If you could taste that potato salad and say that that's good, you can't even bring potato salad. You can't. I don't care what you make. You can't.
Change the question of the night. Does anybody else ever taste the potato salad with raisins that they enjoy?
We're not doing that, though.
I think that's a great question.
No,
it's a great question. I just want to know if anybody else enjoyed
I
it.
don't even want nobody else to expose themselves like Courtney is exposing herself right now. I don't want to know.
Listen,
we're about transparency. We're about transparency.
We're all about transparency. But today is a holiday, y'all. So everybody's going to be packing up soon, going to watch the Verzuz, getting their popcorn, their potato chips, and whatever else, whatever libation we got, and having a good time. All right, so listen, Latoya says, I love that term, performative equity. Mm-hmm. I know, and I get Courtney's point about that, right? It's often not enough, and it's often kind of a way to cheat folks. But I also think there's power in that performative equity if leveraged properly. It's all about strategy to me, though. So
I understand that.
let's see. I think that there's referring more towards black.
The question about black wealth.
Yeah, black consumerism.
I think they're different. I think we're all consumers, right? But then there is hyper or mega consumerism as well, i.e., Americanism, which teaches us to be.
Well, I think it teaches us to rape and pillage. Like, I think that's what American society teaches us to do. I mean, that's what American society has been doing for, I don't know, the entirety of American society. So again, I think we have taken that to say all we do is take, and all we do is kind of harvest, but we don't sow. And I think those are the things that I've noticed is that, again, is that conceptually and culturally, if we take it back to our roots, we actually do sow. We do a lot of sowing.
What roots? What roots? What roots?
African roots. Our culture.
Everybody don't believe that, though. Many people believe black people started here, and everything else that happened prior to that doesn't matter. I'm just telling you what a lot.
How did we get to be brown, though?
Listen, man.
I'm just telling you what people say.
I'm confused. How did I get curly hair? How did Jimmy get the corona curls?
Listen, people act like they don't know, but they know. You know what I'm saying? You know.
That's way over.
Nice
that's way above her. That's way above her pay grade.
Hey, Courtney, just step into our world. That's all.
I know that one.
Kill him.
Like, y'all get on my nerves today. Like, y'all are truly getting on my nerves today, and that's
and whether you notice or not, you can tell we're a little excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
very excited.
Y'all are very excited.
Absolutely.
All right, so GC says plus black wealth isn't just this nationwide movement. It mainly pertains to you and your family / community. I mean,
I think that's it. I mean, I think black wealth has to be more than just being black and wealthy. I think a lot of people look at it like, I'm black, I'm wealthy, and I'm black. That's enough. And it's like, well, no, I don't think you always have to. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to. I think you should be sewing. So I think, yes, I'm black, I'm wealthy, and I sew. And I think if we make that our mantra, then I think we change the narrative to just from being black wealth to community wealth. But I also think it's really important for us to put our mask on first, because what I have noticed is that a lot of times is that we're not able to get to the next level because we're always kind of siphoning off what we do have to others, which is fine. But you got to put your mask on first, baby. I notice that we don't do that. And that concerns me. It's like, hey, I got to make sure my kids are good. Yeah, you do. But, when it comes to, do I save for retirement or pay for the school? You're behind. I was about to say something else. Should be saving for retirement. We'll figure out school. There's no scholarships and no loans for retirement.
Yeah. Someone told me.
Shout out to Nicole. She's right, y'all. Listen, hit that like button. Going over to our YouTube page, and hit that like button. Thank you, Nicole.
Someone told me the best thing you do to take care of a kid is to take care of their parent.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
But folks got to understand the bigger picture. So I get it. Folks be out here half stepping. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They think just because
fire with this potato salad.
They think just because they get the job done, that's it. But it's more than that. Like, it's about the overall community.
But Monica makes a good point. She's tasted potato salad with raisins.
Okay. But Monica also said earlier she doesn't understand why we're so hype about Verzuz. And
that's not actually a direct quote. That's not what she said. Quote people.
That's not what she said.
That's not what she said.
You want me to go back and find it?
Yes, please.
That's not what she said.
If we're going to statement,
she says we think that it's going to be better than it really is. Like,
yeah, that's what she said.
That was a terrible comment.
That was slanderous.
Yeah, that comment was RAW.
I'm okay with it.
Of course you're okay with it because you wasn't outside when it happened. So
and neither was Monica.
Was definitely on the porch. They was both on the porch.
Yeah, y'all was on the porch, so y'all don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but they're also older.
Oh, and your point is what?
They're older than us.
They may not have the spice anymore.
Whoa!
Karis won. See, and this is this is the problem.
People act like they don't know.
Right, those brothers are still young, gifted, and black.
They're gifted and black.
By the way, Courtney, most of these lines are either song
I
title.
probably dropped about 60 references this evening, and most people won't catch them. That's okay though, because I know that Kamari and Corey caught all of them, and that's all that
Every
matters.
single one.
You know what I'm saying? Enough respect. Now,
Courtney is playing the role of Black Cop today, so it's cool. It's cool. Never mind, Courtney. Never mind.
that's the sound of the police.
But I think this is a good question right here, right? Latoya says, who's leveraging performative equity in a way that benefits the community? I mean, we just talked about it. What's that?
That's a great question.
I think Swiss is doing it. Timberland's doing it.
But that's not performative equity.
No, actually, would you consider that performative equity?
That's not performative equity.
The fact that you're able
to siphon off what you have and still keep some for yourself and share it with others, that's not performative.
Just be very rude and successful and just cut me off.
Go ahead, Kamari.
All right, so we don't know what there is, right? It's really hard to say exactly what performative equity is in terms of equity, right?
No, I gave it a definition.
No. I'm responding to Latoya's comment. Jeez, I know you're mad about the raisins and the potato salad, but can I just speak? I've been trying to have your back the whole time. No love. There's no love. All right.
Continue, Kamari.
We fight like siblings, y'all. So sometimes those fights come onto the stage. But I'll say this: I even think Rihanna with Fenty could be kind of defined as performative equity. Nobody knows what the line is, what she gets, but it could be looked as performative equity because we don't actually know. So,
would you consider
how would they assign her a billionaire status if we don't know? There has to be some type of knowledge that's available regarding her net worth and her sources of worth to even get assigned a billionaire status.
Actually, it's not. All those are all estimates.
Well, I think you know what? That's a great question, Latoya, because I think we really have to define what is performative equity then, right? Because I know some people, right, when you look at these deals, that's literally what they're getting. They perform and they get a small little piece of equity because of it.
Yep.
But when you're talking about like Rihanna or Kanye, I don't know if that's performative equity.
I think performative equity was defined above, and it said like 1/15 of 1%. Like that's performative, and it's not making any changes. It's just saying that somebody is at the table, that they have an equity share, but it's not anything that's substantial. It's not.
Yeah, because a lot of those things.
People like to throw this term performative equity around to diminish.
Well, that was my term. That was my term. I coined that today.
No, other people have used it before. I've seen it before, but
I've never seen it.
It'll be yours tonight. It's cool.
Look it up.
Okay, but people have said it before, even with Jay, right? The whole Nets deal, the Barclays deal.
Here goes.
But they're never talking about what other moves are being made behind the scenes, and they kind of put some of those people down, and they say that their contribution is less than what it should be, but we really don't know.
So I get it. This was all about you protecting Jay-Z again.
No,
anyway,
there was a question Latoya asked me. I didn't make it. And we're going to what performative equity is.
No, but here's why I say it's a little bit different, right? Because like with the Jay-Z, I understand his perspective of performative equity, but when you talk about like the deals like the Kanye and Rihanna deals, how they've been reported at least is they own their own entity and they're in partnership with other entities. Allegedly, yeah. I mean, again, we don't know what the exact numbers on any of this. I'm talking about what's being reported. But some of these other deals where, like, they're making a song or doing a commercial and they're getting like 1/10 of 1%, or like the Miami. If you ever look up the Miami Dolphins, they have so much performative equity in their ownership. Like they gave the Williams sisters, they gave a couple other just random people like half of 1% to like just be celebrities and show up. And I think that's more of like performative equity. Like I know that.
Right. So let me ask y'all this: what do y'all label Ciroc? What do you consider Ciroc?
I think that's a unique deal, and how it's structured. Right? I don't because I said it's a unique deal and how that's structured. Now I read a book. What's the brother's name? O'Malley. They wrote a book about that, and the way he describes it, and he has allegedly seen the documents. It was kind of a marketing deal. There's no equity there. But it's unique because that brand was going nowhere. So he's getting a percentage off every single bottle sold. They said it's actually his deal. They said it's actually better than an equity stake because he has no kind of like no risk at all. All profit. So he's like,
And then he took that marketing deal, and then now he has equity in De Leon. You could actually say that's performative equity a little bit, but again, like it's really hard to put this thing in a box, and that's all I was trying to say.
So let me
I would say,
clarify.
let me finish, Courtney.
Go ahead.
I would say that Puffy's problematic too, but Puffy's definitely done stuff for the community. I would say if you want to say his thing is performative equity, he's done a lot for the culture. Everything from they sponsor Ciroc to Revolt. Revolt's doing some good work actually. By the way, while I'm on that vein, BNC is doing good work too. So y'all should check out both of those. But go ahead, Courtney.
So performative equity, to clarify, it's actually only used online in terms of a D&I space. So it's basically performative equity in terms of saying, hey, we're equal, we're inclusive, and it's really not any movement forward. So I wanted to be very clear that performative equity in this particular case is we're talking about very small pieces of ownership in companies to say that they have the ownership, and not necessarily in an educational space where performative equity has been talked about online. So I just want to clarify that in this particular space, this is the first time we've talked about it this way. Thanks.
Yeah, but you said you coined the term. Like it was
in that term, like yes, in the term, the way it's defined as the way we were talking about it. Yeah, that was mine. Amen.
Okay. All right. Granny Apples. Y'all. I'm just clicking. I didn't fruits and berries for the Jimmy Curls. I'm sure Jimmy gets that all the time. Wow. Y'all are hilarious. Leave Courtney alone, y'all. Kamari, Courtney is a lawyer.
Yes, talking about Monica's quote. Monica's the quote that you misquoted Monica on.
I didn't misquote her though.
You did.
I did not.
You did.
She threw a slander. Listen, I paraphrased. All right, is that good enough? Is that good enough?
No, you changed the intent of the quote.
No, I didn't. She was very much slandering Verzuz tonight.
Hey everybody!
Hey
everybody! Welcome to our group chat.
Right, Jimmy froze. Everybody froze.
If you ever want to know what our group chat looks like, this is it.
I like Mr. One, Mr. One,
man,
and Mr. Kane.
Another
comment. But I don't know this Verzuz is going to be. Wow.
Yeah, she is.
Wow. Okay.
Super slanderous tonight.
Slanderous.
Dang.
Clearly, she made it clear. Jimmy, what were you saying?
No, I was saying as you guys were yelling at each other, I was telling everybody, welcome to our group chat.
Oh, man. All right, GC says, I don't know any of these Verzuz folks y'all talking about. Oh, man.
GC, you're also 18.
GC is 18 years old, though.
Yeah, he's 18.
Oh, okay. He's got issues. Listen, if you're really about hip-hop, though, you at least got to understand the history and how important KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane were to the culture, especially the rap. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and KRS-One actually changed rap sonically in 86, 87, and 88. So it's very important. I know. Nobody really cares. I get it. Hey, Gloria Miller, how are you?
Hey, Gloria.
There are oil and glass reserves beneath Espanol, the island divided by Spanish-speaking Dominicans and French Creole-speaking Haitians worth $100 trillion. Okay? All right.
Same comment.
WEB, a recent finding has shown that the nation of Haiti might have been
same comment.
One of the largest reserves in the world. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. How is that relevant to what we're talking about, Gloria? Help me out.
It's not.
Shout out to our Haitian brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Yep. Stop, I say. Jose, gotcha. I know what you're saying. And duke it out.
No thanks.
I practice nonviolence. All right, so Michael says your definitions are clear. However, they do frustrate me. Okay. Why do they frustrate us? Tell us that. Would you define white wealth differently from black wealth? Yes, we're different.
Hell yeah.
We look different. Our experience is different. Our culture is different. The way the legal system castigates us is different. So yeah, I do that.
GC, you about to get banned, dog.
No, that's Macau.
No,
he's talking about GC.
Oh shoot.
Hip hop is overrated. Okay. What do you listen to, GC? Do you even know what hip hop is? By the way, hip hop isn't just rap. It's not just rap.
Yeah, you.
Hip hop is a culture. It's not just music. So,
right. I I think people have forgotten that. And listen, I'll say this: had it not been for hip hop, the Black Wealth Project probably wouldn't exist.
Absolutely not. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. So Mikhail says industries in America are owned by mostly white people, and it supports the overall wealth of whites. I agree. I think everybody would agree with that. Hold on. For instance, Toll Brothers is publicly traded, though they're mostly owned by white people and institutions, but it also advances
The wealth.
the wealth of renown. Right. Yes, we get that. Those high value homes support hundreds of businesses and support institutions that employ and service the people in their community. All right. We got that.
I don't.
So
care.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
my thing is we've talked about ways to to build those kind of things in our community. We've also, we put our money where our mouth is. We support businesses in these communities that help other people make money. Every person up here in the Black Wealth Project has helped other Black people make money. We've helped a lot of people that can't come on this show make a lot of money, right? So the thing about that is that supporting Black wealth doesn't always look like publicly traded companies. What Jim was talking about earlier is very clear. Black love, the ability to help another person feed their family, and that's physically with, with crops and whatever, and also with, money, with currency. So those things, when you talk about Black wealth, are very important too. We can't just talk about the business side of it. Health is wealth, love is wealth. All of these things are Black wealth. Everything isn't about the dollar. Now, not saying that money isn't important, but Black wealth shouldn't be defined the same way as white wealth. Because
I mean, our existence and our experience is not the same as them. So I wouldn't try to. I don't even concern myself with white people and what they do. Whatever they do is their business. So I'm not looking to compare ourselves to them. I don't care what they do. I'm only about what we got to do. Who cares what they do? So
I don't care nothing about
our experience and our existence in this country and on this planet is completely different.
But I think a lot of people look to the publicly traded market and feel like, oh, if we go to publicly traded market, then we can get our share. But ultimately, unfortunately, Black companies are significantly undervalued in terms of their white counterparts, and they can have the same financials, and they're going to get, Radio One is a huge staple in the Black community, and it's consistently been undervalued. And it happens on a regular basis. So to me, I'm not looking to go to the white public market to get my share or to determine if my company is successful or not. Like, I just don't think we're going to get a fair shake there, and we haven't been getting a fair shake. I think our best bet in terms of looking at wealth is looking at the entire person and the entire community. And the thing is that our health problems will take us out quickly, and it will hamper or impede our ability to create wealth. So we have a lot of different, threshold issues that other communities don't have. More specifically, the white community does not have.
Yeah, he might need to read that book we read. He need to look at the book review show that
Which
we
one?
did.
The cat.
Cast.
Cast. Yeah, that one.
Yes. Hold up, Courtney. Let's get that big and bold. Yes.
You need to get into, like, a lot of your questions will be answered by this, Mikhail. Read that.
But I also have another book though. This is my favorite. I'm still reading it.
Hold on. What is that, Courtney? Put it back up. We should all be
millionaires.
Okay, absolutely. You like that? All right, absolutely. I'll check it out. But Mikhail, I'll just say this, and everyone has said it eloquently. And I think the biggest one is, though, we're different. So we don't need to mimic them. We need to do for ourselves. So, and all the ancestors have said the same. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
And GC, I see your comment. It's not overrated though, because what you got to understand is you're speaking of music, right?
Right.
Rap is, and to quote, knowledge reigns supreme over everyone. Rap is something that we do, but hip hop is something that you live. So when you talk about music, hip hop isn't music. That's rap music. Hip hop
is different than hip hop, and hip hop is a culture. Rap is a subculture of hip hop.
I mean, but
so when you speak,
sadly, hip hop and rap have been commercialized. And if you aren't at least as old as us, you don't remember a time before that. And so I get it. GC's 18. He don't get it. So we're not going to beat up on him. But
no, GC is the homie. I appreciate his contribution.
No, but I was going to say, I would encourage GC to go look at some other things, some other movies, right? Go look at a Crush Groove. Go look at a B Street. Like, get up on the culture and the knowledge and the history of it. And I think you'll understand why we're so excited about this thing we call hip hop. So, all right, Nicole's giving shout outs to Down North Pizza. Okay, that's your brother's company. Okay.
Yo,
right, cool.
they get busy.
I haven't gotten
really
to buy down there yet. I heard they're delicious though. I heard they're delicious.
They put in real time.
They're really good. Like Ty absolutely loves them.
Okay. Well, listen, y'all. It's 8 p.m. We about to go celebrate our holiday. It's time for us to bounce, but we appreciate y'all all being here. We appreciate you all.
And I do want to say one thing, man. Yo, shout out to the brother Muhammad from Down North Pizza, the brother, because he was definitely on the By the Hood podcast. Go check out the By the Hood podcast because Down North Pizza, like, you know, shout out to the brother Muhammad who was definitely on our podcast. So we support Down North Pizza. You know, it's the best pizza place in the city.
Facts. Big facts. Biggest facts.
All right, sweet. Well, we will see y'all. Oh, Latoya says Big Daddy came for the win. But it looks like KRS-One has got the vote here. Looks like KRS-One's got the vote. But we'll see y'all next week. Make sure y'all tune in next week because we got some big news. Big news to announce to y'all next Sunday. Next Sunday, Blackwell Project, 7 p.m. See y'all there.
Peace.